Well. Surprises, surprises. The battery life on the S23 Ultra is actually fantastic. Normally, I would caution and say, okay, give it the first week, and then we'll see what type of real battery life we're getting. But based off of my usage on it for over 3 days now, several full charge cycles on it, I actually pushed this thing to see how far I could get it to go in my normal everyday usage, and I got almost 8 hours of screen on time with like a day and a half of being off the charger from full charge, and yeah, I still had like 23% left to go. So I have a lot of confidence in this, and I'm really excited about it because this has been a big turnaround from the S22 Ultra, and we've talked about this over the last year. All the battery issues, all the battery life sucks talk and conversation on the S22 series, S22 Ultra. That was the big thing for this one. That was the big litmus test. Of course, we knew we were getting the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, which is fantastic because it's the new top-of-the-line chipset, and it improved basically on a lot of the big things like the performance and the battery life and things like that that you could expect to get out of it because of the basically being able to use less power and consume less battery, create less heat, and give you that still the same flagship experience. And just to let you know, I've got this set on Quad HD Plus. I have it on the adaptive refresh rate for 120 hertz, and I don't have it on adaptive brightness. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to set mine manually where I like it for my own preference. If it's a little dark, I turn it up a little lighter, and historically I keep it pretty bright on my phone. So I like this a lot. I'm not even using light mode. Not even using light mode. So even having used this for over 3 days now, no light mode, no adaptive brightness, and no adaptive battery yet because it hasn't fully kicked in. It hasn't learned all my routines, hasn't learned what it can turn on and off and shut off in the background to save my battery life and optimize it. So I can expect that after about 5 or 6 days, once it says that my battery life has been optimized, that it'll probably be even better. So I'm really excited about this. And I'm more excited about it because the iPhone 14 Pro Max series battery life has been trash. Which is weird how this has happened because the iPhone 13 Pro Max series last year, untouchable in battery life. I mean, I was getting 10, 11 hours of screen on time, which was insane. Completely unheard of because that was like flagship level performance, using it all day long, exceptional battery life. Then we had the S22 Ultra and it's like, terrible battery life. So now, living in this better battery life world with the S23 Ultra, I'm really excited. Now, I do have to say though, the S22 Ultra did start off a little bit better, and it seems like the last 2 years what's happened is their phone has started off well, and then once we got the first update, the first big patch, it seems like the battery life just tanked and never recovered. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want to scare anyone off, but I was really surprised with the S22 Ultra last year because it started off, I was getting like 7, 8 hours of screen on time, and then all of a sudden after like 3 weeks, we got that February or March update, whatever it was, and it just went poof, right off the cliff, and it took forever to recover. So my hope here is that they finally got this in. But the thing was, I think there were a lot of software gimmicks last go around that really is what a lot of the software and battery optimization relied on. And the hardware in this does a lot of the heavy lifting. And again, if you really need to extend your battery life, you can use light mode. And that's also a nice feature too. If you go into the battery settings, so if you go into your settings, and then you scroll down to battery, so it's going to be down here towards the bottom, battery and device care. You tap on that, tap on battery, and then go down to the bottom where it says more battery settings. Up here at the top, you've got your adaptive battery, but then you can also look at your performance profile. You have standard mode and light mode. So I have mine on standard mode, and that's just normal run-of-the-mill, runs everything the way it's supposed to. If you want to throttle it down some more, and here's the thing, if you put it on light mode, you don't really even notice that much. Like from day-to-day tasks, using Twitter, browsing the internet, like it's not really that big of a difference. And it's funny how we got here, right? Because last year we had the whole debacle with the game optimization service, and it was basically throttling the whole phone secretly, and people didn't know about it. They got caught. And then the Geekbench guys removed like the last 3 or 4 years of phones from all their Geekbench scores. Like they had their gold medal stripped away from the Olympics. They were using performance enhancing diagnostics, PEDs. Anyway, so basically, yes, this was a big redemption opportunity, and it seems like it's a pretty big redemption story. And I'm really happy about this because if y'all have watched my channel for any length of time, you know that battery life is king for me. And battery life is king for a lot of people. If you're paying $1,200 and getting a big flagship phone like this, you want the battery to last a long time. And here, let me look at my screenshot. I'll go ahead and I'll pull it up so I can show you exactly what it was that I got for my battery life. So here we go. I had my phone off the charger 23 hours and 11 minutes. 23 hours, 11 minutes. 7 hours, 47 minutes of screen on time. 15 hours, 24 minutes screen off. And this was on mixed 5G and Wi-Fi. And again, dark mode was on, no adaptive brightness. Had the brightness up pretty reasonably high for, I think, most people. Most folks tend to think that my phone's screens are pretty unnecessarily bright, but I like a bright screen. And no light mode. So this is really good. And 22% battery left. That's what I had. So 7 hours, 47 minutes screen on time. That's just really, really good for having basically everything maxed out on the phone. And this was the always-on display. Like, I have my always-on display on my phone, and that also eats up a lot of battery too. So if you wanted to go in and maximize your battery savings, if you wanted to run it on standard display, no 120 hertz, if you want to run it on dark mode, adaptive brightness, light mode, and no always-on display, you're going to squeak out probably a couple extra hours of battery life out of your phone. So even if you're worried about it, and I'm, like I said, big power user, about 8 hours I've used this phone in just under a 24-hour period. That is a lot. And I'm sorry at the beginning, I think I said it was a little bit more than a day that I had it off the charger, but still, a day off the charger, 23 something hours, and I used it screen on time almost 8 hours. That's a lot for an Android phone. That's about 2.5 hours more than I've been getting out of my S22 Ultra, and still I had 22% battery left to go. And I took basically no steps to try and save any extra battery. So I'm really excited about this, and it's doing better than my iPhone 14 Pro Max. And, I mean, that's not really surprising because the phone's been out for several months now, and they just can't seem to get the battery right. They can't seem to get the heat issues under control. They can't seem to get the... I've been having so many problems. I've had more problems with my iPhone 14 Pro Max in the 2 weeks I had the iPhone 14 Pro than I had last year with the Pixel 6 series phones. And it's just ridiculous because it's like a tale of two cities, because everybody's crucifying the Google phones, and it's like, they suck, don't buy them, terrible phones. Oh my gosh, these guys are terrible, it's causing so many problems. And there have been a lot of problems with iOS 16. This has, I think, been the buggiest, most issue-laden version of iOS that I've ever experienced. So, I'm happy to report that it seems like so far, straight out of the gate, basically, I mean, this phone just went on sale yesterday. As you're watching this video, it went officially on sale yesterday, the day that I'm recording this video, and I got mine on the 13th. So, yeah, I've had about 5 days now. So, probably tomorrow or the day after, it'll finish doing the battery optimization. I'm probably going to report on this whenever I do my full review in about a week or so, and then we can discuss it some more then and see if it actually extended and went out any further. But I've been very, very happy, very pleased with this, because finally, that was my problem with a lot of these Samsung phones. The S22 Ultra, loved the phone, bad battery. S21 Ultra, loved the phone, not great battery. And then going back to even like the Note 20 Ultra, it had horrible battery life. So I love these phones. I like the Samsung phones. I like One UI. There's a lot of great stuff going on here, but always was limited by the battery life. This has been really refreshing. I've been really enjoying this experience as I've been using it since I got mine on the 13th. So that's all I got in this video. Just really wanted to talk about this, tell you guys. I had made a video previously saying, look, it looks like people are right saying the battery life is better. I can now confirm that and tell you, myself, that I think it's pretty darn good. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, and please go down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And also, if you've got one, let me know what your experience is. If you got an S23, S23 Plus, S23 Ultra, how's the battery life working for you? Is it meeting your expectations? Is it higher than what you thought it was going to be? And generally, let's just talk about it. So that's all I got. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.